Right, most people know what to do, right? Like, you know how to stay healthy, eat the right food, move the body a little bit more. But the one thing that stops you from getting results is probably consistency, someone to keep you accountable. Maybe your accountability skills, if you're relying just on yourself, it's probably not that great. Easy way to look at it is if you've been trying to lose weight and it's been longer than say like 6 months or a year, there's something that's breaking down and it needs to be fixed before you can move on to the next level and actually get that result. So in this one, we're going to be talking about consistency, how to actually stay consistent when life gets in the way. So most people know what to do. Eat a little bit less, move a little bit more, and stay consistent. But knowing what to do and actually doing it are two separate things. So it's like, okay, Kendall, how do I do it? And we have to break it down, okay? So sometimes the goal isn't about trying to get the result as quickly as possible, because if you get there in an unsustainable way, you'll lose those results just as quick. I always liken weight loss to when people win the lotto. I'm pretty sure it's like 70 or 80% of lotto winners, they end up poor again because they never learned the habits of how to keep that money. It's the same when you lose weight really quick. Let's say that you do something like a 75 hard or a quick 8-week challenge and people reward you for losing the most amount of weight in the shortest amount of time. You're probably going to end up starving yourself, right? You'll lose weight, yeah, for sure, but then I'll revisit you probably like 6 months later and that weight would have came back on. Why? Because we didn't learn the habits of how to keep the new body once we got it. That's the underlying issue, okay? Fixing those habits. The habits equal the results. What you tried to do with something like 75 hard is you tried to get results without fixing the habits. So no wonder why your results ended up resulting back to what your habits usually give you, which is being back to square one. So how do I stay consistent? Okay, the first step is know your lifestyle. Choose something that's achievable for you. Have a look at your week, honestly, okay? How much time per day can you spend towards your health? Is it 30 minutes? Is it an hour? You might be somebody that is looking after, say, 4 or 5 kids, or you might be a young adult and you have a job and you don't have any kids. Everybody has a different lifestyle, so that means people can dedicate different time slots to their health. Figure out what works for you, and then we can go about planning for the week ahead. So map out the week ahead, okay? What commitments do I have? The kids have sports. Do I need to do my groceries? If you're not planning for the week ahead, then you've already lost the week. And sometimes a lot of people will neglect their health because they'll say, oh, Kendall, I just got so much on my plate and I just can't fit it in. No, you don't. You can fit it in. What's actually happening is you haven't mapped it out so you can physically see on a piece of paper how much time you can allocate towards that thing. Because I guarantee there's some time that you're just wasting, like staying on your phone, watching TV, dawdling around. If you saved those extra 10 minutes a day, like you'd have an extra hour for the week. So what I usually do is I'll tell people, okay, so we have 24 hours a day and we'll times that by 7, and that's how many hours that we have throughout the week. And then you'll map out all of your responsibilities. How many hours of the week is dedicated to my kids? Bang. How many hours is dedicated to my work? And what you'll do is you would map out how much time you allocate towards each thing and see if you truly have some time to allocate towards your health. If not, then have a look and see what things you could do less of. For example, if you're sleeping like 9 hours, maybe sleep 8 hours and you'd have an extra hour per day. Bang, there's your training session. If you taking maybe an hour and a half just to wind down and go to sleep, find yourself a nighttime routine, and then all of a sudden it only takes yourself 30 minutes to go to sleep, and you probably could use that extra hour to put towards planning for the next day or something productive. Okay, there's always time, but if you're going to take on something like looking after your health, just know that it's going to reward your life so much more. And so if we're going to take on these new things, we have to figure out where in our life we're spending time that's not serving us anymore and get rid of it. So know what's realistic for your lifestyle and find that time that will suit you. Okay, next, how do we go about using that time productively? Okay, so all you need to do is try and have at least 3 movement sessions. Now this could be a bit of a gym workout, this could be a group fitness session. You just have to make sure that you're moving the body, something that's medium to high intensity, or even just medium intensity. Okay, we just need to make sure that we're moving the body. The other thing is set yourself like a daily step target. It doesn't have to be 10,000 steps, it can be 5,000 steps. It just has to be a little bit more than what you're currently doing and what will fit in with your routine. So that means we've ticked off everything that we need to do when it comes to movement. The next thing is nutrition. Plan ahead. At the moment, what you're probably doing is you've got so much balanced on your plate that when you get home, can't be bothered to cook a meal, and so maybe you'll just go out and have takeaway or eat out at a different, like a cafe or something like that. The reason why we do that is because number one, probably tastes really good, and number two, it's convenient. So how do we make sure that we're having good nutrition choices? Well, we got to make it taste nice and we got to make it convenient. How do you make it taste nice? You find all of the food that you already enjoy and make healthy versions of it. Okay, you don't know what you don't know, and I guarantee that you've never tried every single food that this world has to offer. You're not gonna know until you try. So find a healthy version of the foods that you like. Next, prepare them in advance. So that means we've already ticked off that it tastes nice, you're gonna enjoy it, and number two, it's convenient. And that way it makes the healthy option a little bit easier to stick to because you prepared beforehand. Now by this point, you should have found some sort of routine that fits your lifestyle lifestyle, it only takes as much time as what you've allocated towards that because you've already mapped out your week. Number 2, you've sorted out your movement. Number 3, you've sorted out your nutrition. Now number 4, it's just about trying to make sure that you stay consistent. So at the end of each week, have a look and see how well you went. The best way to stay consistent is by making a realistic plan for you. What things did you struggle on? What things can you realistically improve? Make those adjustments to those 3 things: time management, nutrition, and movement, and take it into the next week. That way, you're always giving yourself what you need as your life starts to change. And you should start to see results because you have a plan that fits your lifestyle. Now, we help Polynesians lose weight. That's pretty much what we built this business for. So if you are struggling with staying consistent and finding a nutrition plan specifically for you, then book in a call. The link will be down below. You can leave it to us and we'll take all that thinking off you. All you'll need to do is just execute, and we'll be keeping you accountable so that you do stay consistent. If not, then I hope you've learned something from this video and you actually take action into the next week. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next one. I'll be covering a new topic every single week, so if you want to hear a certain topic, then drop it in the comments below and make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks, guys.